Hi and welcome to What's Cooking. Chef Ismail Arbee back to cook you a storm. Today we're going to be doing sausages. Very simple, easy way of doing your sausage. Obviously pumped out chef style with a bit of pasta as a base, tagliatelle. I got that right this time. As a base, but we're going to be adding a bit of a difference. So let me just run you through our ingredients quickly. I've got some heavy cream, right, which we are going to make a black pepper sauce. Absolutely divine, rich but divine. Then we got some mixed herbs, some paprika, salt and pepper obviously to taste, a bit of ginger, some butter. We're going to be using a pear, right, just to add a bit of a difference, a bit of sweetness to this meat. Our tagliatelle pasta, red pepper, jalapenos for that burn. You want the baby marrow, some baby carrots, right? We're just going to roast them in the oven. Some baby brinjal, garlic, a bit of bay leaf, some fresh rosemary and thyme. I've got some slices of cheddar and mozzarella cheese, your 3 different peppers. Then I've got some oyster mushroom because your steak must go with some sort of mushroom, and this is the way to go. Oyster mushroom, a bit of lime, some red onion, obviously skewer sticks, some oils. Okay, so first off we're gonna start obviously by marinating our meat. So what I've done was I've taken some sirloin meat and I've left the fat on it, right, and I'm just gonna start the marination process. So I'm just gonna put a bit of paprika, right, a bit of mixed dried herbs, but not too much because we are going to be flavoring it with the fresh herbs. A bit of black pepper, some salt. Okay, just going to utilize my lime. As I've explained to you in previous shows, lime actually breaks down the texture of the meat, number 1, and number 2, it adds a very nice flavor to it. So you can use lemon, but today I'm in the mood for lime. So a bit of lime. Oil just to marinate. Let your marinade stick to it. Fresh rosemary. Brilliant. Just love the smell of rosemary. It's absolutely fresh and amazing. Right, and some thyme obviously. Okay, so I'm just going to cut my stems off. And you just want to put them together and chop it up. Now, obviously not too thick. You want it quite fine so it sticks nicely to your meat. And yes, I'm going to show you a little technique of cutting. And you're probably wondering how chefs cut so fast. Well, to cut your mixed herbs, it's very simple. You're going to place your knife on the board. You're going to put your fingers on top of the blade itself, just to stabilize it and hold it. So you're going to be looking at the center of your herbs. Thereafter, just rolling your knife and holding it down with your 2 fingers in the front, just so it's a nice fine dice. Brilliant. Okay, and a little bit of bay leaf. So you're just going to take 1 or 2 bay leaves, and I'm just going to crush it up fine. Okay, I'm adding that on top. Brilliant. And then we're just going to take our meat and we're going to massage it in now. I've explained to you on previous shows, the most important part is massaging your flavors into your meat itself, because you want them to absorb really nicely. So spend a couple of minutes extra just massaging your meat in, massaging your spices into your meat itself. Promise you, the results are priceless. Right, you're going to get a 10 times more flavorful dish compared to what you just throw it on, mix it up and pop it in the fridge. Preferable, try and do this overnight, right? Allow it to rest, allow the flavors to get absorbed in. Okay, as you can see here, I've got a pot boiling, right? Just hot water, a little bit of salt, and that's where it stops. A lot of people make the common error of adding oil to your pasta. You don't want to add the oil to your pasta for the mere fact is that the oil actually forms a layer around your pasta, so your sauce doesn't stick to it. So we want to get our sauces stick to it. So if you are making a pasta in any way, today I'm going to be making a dryish pasta, but in normal cases you want to add it with some sauce and so on. Do not add any oil into your pot. I'm just going to cut my peppers. Alright, you just want to take off the white on the inside as it does get a bit bitter. So you just want to clean that out nicely. Brilliant. And cut that up into little cubes. Right, before I actually do that, I just want to get my carrots in because we're going to lay our sausages on a bed of carrots. So I just got some baby carrots, which I'm just going to drizzle some oil. Just a bit of oil in it. Give it a nice shake up. Right, a bit of paprika, just to add some flavor to these carrots. Right, and a bit of spice. Salt. And some pepper. Let's just give that a nice shake up. Right, I'm just going to put that in the oven straight away. Brilliant. Take a bit of my green pepper. Okay, exact same thing. Cubes. Brilliant. Bit of my brinjal. I'm just going to cut them up into slices. Right, my red onion. As you can see, a society is extremely attractive because of all the different colors. It adds real vibrance to the dish itself. Not forgetting my pear. Whoopsie. Okay, so I'm just gonna steal a cube there, steal some from there. Brilliant. Okay, preferably you want to do all your cutting ahead of time, so as once you start with the skewer itself, you don't want to go and cut again. Okay, brilliant. Let's take a bit of garlic. Okay, in my pan I'm just going to add 2 to 3 knobs of butter. Okay, maybe 4 because I want 5, maybe because I want to make people fat. So 5 butter, I would say 2 garlic. Right, just crushed up. And a bit of ginger. You don't want to overwhelm it with too much of ginger, so I would just take 2 thin slices. Brilliant. A bit of garlic, add a bit of oil. Brilliant. My jalapeno. We'll chop this up. Brilliant. Okay, then for your black pepper sauce, very simple. I'm just going to take some heavy cream, add it to my saucepan. Just a wee bit more. I'm just going to throw my pasta in. 1, 2, 3, brilliant. Right, then I'm just going to add my cream on. I just want to get it nice and hot. I'm going to add some black pepper to it. Right, because we're going to be making a nice rich black pepper flavor sauce. Okay, so it needs to be quite a bit of black pepper in order to get that flavor running through the cream. Okay, brilliant. Now we're going to start our skewers. So very simple, I just want to add some color to it. So I'm going to start off first with a bit of meat. Right. Done. Add a bit of green to it. Bit of red. Right, and with my pear. Brilliant. Another bit of meat, and I left all the fat on the meat because we are going to be roasting it in the oven. You don't want your meat to dry off. Bit of baby marrow. What else? Jalapeno. I'm just going to fold this mushroom up. There. Fold your mushroom up. A bit more steak. I just need to bring it down. Alright, you want to fit it nice and tight as well. That's one. Right, any order, not a train smash. Pick and choose. You are allowed to use absolutely any veg that you would like, so it doesn't have to stay with this. Absolutely any veg will work. Okay, my pasta is going, my cream is on, my creamy pepper sauce. This is melting really nicely. What else? What did I miss out? And I'm going to top it off with another piece of meat. Brilliant. And just to cap it, I'm just going to cap it with my jalapeno. Okay, so one more. And so as you can see, my cream is boiling up really nice. I just want to mix it up nicely and allow it to reduce. You want to allow it to reduce on a medium heat and not a high heat. Okay, brilliant. Oopsie. Okay, green pepper. Oh, sauce is boiling. So you just want to, once you get that high boil, you just want to drop your heat a bit. Alright, and let it simmer on low heat. Right, pasta is looking good. Okay, we're gonna cook our pasta to al dente. When I say al dente means not fully cooked, yet it's still cooked but not extremely cooked. You still want to get that little bit of a texture running through. Let me get this one going nicely, and back here. Okay, small piece of meat. Alright, you're not restricted to steak, you can do this with lamb as well. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to seal them off. When I say seal it off, basically I just want to create the outside. I want the outside to be slightly cooked, nice and brown, so it keeps its flavors once it goes into the oven, because the oven just dries it out a bit. So you want to seal it off nicely, pop it in the oven and allow it to cook through. Oh, this is smelling absolutely divine. I'm just gonna add in a bit of red to the top. And just to cap it off. Okay, why I'm just adding the butter because I want the butter flavor to run through. So I'm just scooping it up from the side and drizzling it over. I'll just add a teaspoon more butter. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit more butter, maybe about 2 knobs or 3. Because you want that nice buttery flavor running through. Brilliant. I just want to check on my carrots. Oh, brilliant. That cream is reducing nicely. My pasta is going awesome. Okay, it's looking absolutely brilliant. Okay, so once it's ready, we're just gonna pop them into our oven. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, we lost the top here, so I'm just going to put that back. Okay, and we do not throw away this butter. We're going to add this butter onto it, so just to keep it nice and moist and give it a nice buttery flavor. Okay, I'm just going to throw a bit of it onto the carrots as well, just so that our flavors all run together. Okay, brilliant. I'm just going to take that off. My pasta almost ready. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to add a bit of cheese. Now I want to add a layer of cheese onto the steak itself. That's brilliant. Just gonna add this back into the oven. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot about my favorite tools. My silicone gloves. Best for working with the oven. Okay, that's just gonna go in. Okay, brilliant. I'm just going to leave that in a few minutes just to allow that cheese to melt nicely and fully cook my steak. I do have your pepper sauce. I'm just gonna, what I've made was just a little bit of flour and water. So it's a very simple concoction. A bit of flour, a little bit of water. You can either make a paste or make it a little bit runny. I'm just gonna add a few teaspoons on this end just to thicken my sauce up. I want to get that nice texture. So just to thicken it up, as you can see, 1 teaspoon and it's thickened up quite a lot. Oh, my sauce is about ready. Need to taste this. A bit more black pepper. And a bit more salt. I just want to throw a bit of mixed herbs just to add a bit more flavor to it. Brilliant. Just a nice mix up. Excellent. Okay, my pasta should be ready, and yes it is. And I can put all of that off. And we get ready to plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pasta and just drain it a bit. As you can see, it is a dry pasta because our flavor is going to come from our sauce and from the steak itself. Brilliant. Just going to curl it up nicely. Okay, that didn't work out too well, but brilliant. Whoopsie, this fell in. Take my spoon. Alright, as you can see, the sauce texture is perfect. Exactly what I was looking for. Okay, our cheese should be melted. Oh, absolutely divine. This looks brilliant. Okay. As you can see, it is all the colors are popping through really nicely. Okay, I'm just going to start with my carrot base. Brilliant. We're just going to grab our sausage. Oozing with cheese. Brilliant. And that's going to go on top. So we're just going to grab our second sausage. It is looking divine. Okay, add that on top. And our pepper sauce. Now we're just going to drizzle this across. So before I do that, just clean up my plate a bit. Okay. Right, you can use mushroom sauce, absolutely any sauce that you'd like, but I prefer your pepper. Now just to drizzle over. Excellent. Just a bit of fresh thyme as your garnish. That looks absolutely scrumptious. Okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Sirloin steak sausage with your vibrant colors, a plain pasta, some roasted baby carrots. Do enjoy. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode of What's Cooking. We'll see you again soon.